All right, guys. We have a full moon coming up in a couple of days, and this isn't just any full moon, it's a blue moon, which is the second full moon of the month. Now, during this blue moon, I thought I would take a minute, share this one little kind of trick that I do, a little tip. It's a simple little thing that's so cheap, it's so easy, and it packs such a gnarly punch that it almost feels criminal. So right here I have a basic setup with my potentizer. I got a wishing machine and a vampire box. This is actually a bottom up basic wishing machine, but let's just pretend it's a vampire box. So right here I have 3 vigil candles, some tea lights, and a bunch of sticks of incense, right? But the real magic that I'm trying to share, the real trick, is right here, and that's a libation. So this right here is just black tea, and I cooked it down, let it simmer for a while, concentrated it, and when I was boiling the water, I added a little bit of salt, a Leahy salt, is my favorite salt to use, and some Epsom salt, some magnesium sulfate. Now, the main reason for the salt and the Epsom salt, and it's just a tiny bit, but the main reason for it is just to help it charge, hold more of a charge. But when you program a libation like this, say about a week, at least a few days, for a full moon ritual outdoors, something about the libation, pouring that last little bit into the earth before you leave, it just packs such a gnarly punch. This is one of those tips where whenever I do this, I often see results, or at least see the signs of it working by the time I get home from the ritual. That's how fast it usually works. So I thought I'd just share a few ideas with it. For the battery, and you don't have to use this, you can just use one wishing machine if you want. I'm just doing this for the sake of being thorough. But for a battery, I like to use a picture of the sun, and that's one that I took on a summer solstice. And then I'll use 2 magic squares to kind of fine tune it. So if you're gonna do something for prosperity, I have a Jupiter and Mercury magic square, and that just kind of gives it that magical tone to it. So I use the sun as like the actual battery to give it a bunch of energy, and then the magic squares to kind of add the magical component to it. If you're gonna do something for protection or maybe baneful operations, you can use like Mars and Saturn. And for prosperity, some people like to use Jupiter and Venus. Other people like to use Jupiter, Mercury. They all work really well. Lately, I've actually been working with Mercury and Venus more for prosperity rather than Jupiter. But, it's magic. It's going to work. So almost anything works. But when you program this stuff, especially when you let it go for like a week, because I like to, say I think the full moon falls on a Sunday this month, so you can start it on a Sunday, then the next month, take it off and do your ritual. But you really only need to let it charge overnight or a few days. I just like to use a week because it's easy to remember, and it charges a lot of energy to it. You pretty much max out right about a week. So let's see if we're gonna do some prosperity stuff. You got the magic squares from Mercury, Jupiter. You got the sun. You throw that in the vampire box for your battery. And then I have some wealth cards here. I got the material gain card from the Crowley deck, and I got the wealth card from the Rider Waite deck. Or you can do like I did for the last couple of videos I made, where you print out the picture of the tarot card and then make a thought form. I think this one's for Baitor, for prosperity. Now, this works super well. One of the things I really like about doing this too, let's say like a baneful operation. So I don't do a whole lot of baneful workings. It's definitely not a staple of my practice. But a lot of times I would prefer doing it outside. And where I lived in Washington, we had this cemetery that was on a closed down mental institution, and these people were like buried in mass unmarked graves, so the spirits are really pissed off. And I liked doing stuff like that there because I can leave all that energy there. It's also easy to forget about it. By the time you get home, you're just not even worrying about it. But when you would pour the libation, when you pour the tea into the dirt, it just packs such a gnarly punch. And it's such a cheap, easy thing. Like I said, this is just a few bags of black tea. I blessed the water first. I blessed the bags first. And then I added, like I said, a little bit of salt, a little bit of Epsom salt to the water just to hold more of a charge. And I'm sure it also acts as a bit of a preservative when you're charging it for a whole week. Some sticks of incense, you know, and, like I said, even with like something more baneful, I mean, when you pour a libation into the dirt, I mean, those spirits, those earth spirits, like at the graveyard, I mean, dude, I mean, they just soak that up. And it already has all the information, everything on what to do there. But for prosperity stuff, I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing. I mostly focus on beneficial stuff. If I'm doing low magic like this, I'm usually focusing on something beneficial. And then aside from that, I'm usually doing like psychic development, energy work, high magic, evocation, basically. But I love this. And like I said, yeah, this is just some tea. You can use coffee. I make moonshine for a lot of this stuff. And I really need to make a video on how to do that. But the moonshine works insanely well. I wanted to do the tea for this video because, it's so cheap and easy. Keep it simple. You can use a bottle of beer if you want for your libation, program it. I would definitely do something nice like a micro or something. I don't drink, so, but it's just so powerful what you can do with this. And you can use anything. I mean, you can literally just use water and bless the water. Just grab some spring water. So it has like nice, healthy minerals in it. Maybe throw a little bit of Epsom salt in it just to hold that charge and program it. But this is one of those tips that, like I said, it's so cheap, it's so easy, and it packs such a powerful punch. It almost feels criminal. And it's one of those things that's really easy to overlook. This is one of the reasons why I really like the potentizer. I have 3 of them running almost all the time doing stuff like this. And then I just added an extra one because I wasn't really able to keep up with everything with just the 3. So, yeah, I love the potentizer for this type of stuff. And like I said, when you program all the information in there, and then it has all that clean, usable energy. It doesn't matter if you're working with just the random spirits out in the nature, or if you're going to do call on a higher spirit, it just works. It works super well, super powerful, super potent. That's why it's the potentizer. And I think that's about it. And so I wish you all the best on your magical journey. And yeah, dude, feed the spirits some libation, man. Give them some tea, some coffee, some moonshine, whatever you got. Bless it, and you'll see some good quality results from it. So you guys all take care. Bye.